time to digest it. And if you think that what you're going to see is crazy, then you're not alone. He had here a battery with a switch, and here he had a solenoid. He closes the switch, a current will flow, and that creates a magnetic field in the solenoid. And that magnetic field, maybe it runs like so. Depends on the direction of the current. And so now, he put around this solenoid a loop. Let's call this loop number 2. But it was around the solenoid. And let's call this loop number 1, of which the solenoid is part. Whenever there was a current in number 1, he never managed to see a current in number 2. If there is a current going in number 1, there is a magnetic field. And that magnetic field is seen, of course, by the conductor number 2, by that loop. Never any current. And so he concluded that a steady magnetic field, as produced by the solenoid, circuit 1, does not produce a steady current in number 2. But then one day, he noticed that as he closed the switch, he saw a current in number 2. And when he opened the switch, again he saw a current in number 2. And therefore he now concluded that a changing magnetic field is causing a current. Not a steady magnetic field, but a changing magnetic field.
1st of April, 2019. Now, some of you already know I came up with this channel because I was having I had some crazy, couple crazy dreams. I'm not going to go over them right now. I'm just going to share some thoughts with you. There's a lot in the news, and I'm going to go over what I'm thinking about on those things. This is the Earth is wobbling more than it should, and humans are likely the cause. Okay, 2 of the 3 factors identified by the scientists are glacier rebound and mantle convection. Glacier rebound happens when thick ice sheets physically push down on land masses, compressing them, but then release the pressure upon melting. The land then balloons back up over time, causing Earth's spin to wobble as if it slightly off axis. The effects of the last ice age, which would have compressed a huge amount of land across many continents, is still being felt today in the form of glacial rebound. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to connect all these thoughts here. Since any change in stress in the Earth's crust must cause a change in the magnetic properties of matter composing it, it is natural to expect that the elements of the Earth's magnetic field, especially the vertical component or dip, should vary with the change in stress. Now, this is an article, Seismic and Volcanic Activities and Changes in the Earth's Magnetic Field. I'll leave the link. Okay, next one by Nature. I'm going to skip down to core questions. This is an article that came out January 9th, 2019. Core question. In the meantime, scientists are working to understand why the magnetic field is changing so drastically. Now, if you think about solar winds, they're kind of like oceans of magnetic waves that come over the Earth. And we know waves slosh. They go back and forth, back and forth. Now, what I just read to you earlier here about this is pretty much a differing effect, a sloshing that occurs when the Earth transverses, goes up and down, up and down. So then you have a vertical movement that causes actually a magnetic field. So you have 2 sources, 2 possible sources of induction going on. Now, I can't prove any of this, and I don't know if we're on the beginning of this, but all these theories started coming up here since November, and I finally found this, which is actually what I was trying to draw a point to, and it looks like there's already studies done on. I'll go ahead and read the title to you. This came out June 8, 2011. Using magnets to help prevent heart attack. Magnetic field can reduce blood viscosity, physicists discovers. Because red blood cells contain iron, this doctor has been able to reduce a person's blood viscosity by 20 to 30% by subjecting it to a magnetic field of 1.3 Teslas, about the same as an MRI, for about 1 minute. I'm going to skip down right here. When the magnetic field was taken away, the blood's original viscosity state slowly returned, but over a period of several hours. January 20th, 2019. 2 dead after 6.7 magnitude earthquake hits Chile's coast. 2 people reportedly died after suffering heart attack, according to Reuters. Very big earthquake. Now, is it comparable, or is it large enough to generate the same amount of waves, have the same amount of effects, thin the blood of these 2 individuals, probably cause a type of panic and induce stress, slowly thinned blood just for a moment, and then right back to the returning of the original state of the blood before the earthquake? Is this possible? This is what I started asking myself. I can't say that it is, but all the science is right here in front of us, including what might be going on. Now this here, I'm going to go ahead and call this probably a hack. I definitely want to say it's a hack. And I did want to say something about yesterday. I heard some stuff. I heard my meter popping. It popped twice. And my refrigerator light went out. I had even my phone resetted. I didn't understand why it reset. And I'm going to leave a little video for you at the end. It's not probably going to be what the answer is, but it's pretty interesting information. I definitely would encourage you to watch the entire video on your own time. I'm going to leave a link. Okay, so Russian satellite spots mysterious explosion in Earth's atmosphere. And I'll redirect you towards the video from the beginning of this, the little snippet I left you in the beginning of this video here. Could this be the magnetic poles, the magnetic energy going back and forth in an unstable state actually causing induction in the air, as well as shifting and the different effects that earthquakes can have? I don't know. But I have to ask whether or not they are asking these questions. Now, it's absolutely reasonable to think that our enemies could cause some of these things as well, and that it could be artificially induced. But we've never seen the changes that are happening right now on our Earth, the way they're happening, and they seem like they'd carry out just the right scenarios to cause an induction event in the sky. Static electricity, if you will. But something more powerful than that. And that's a little bit more information. I could go to individual videos and definitely ask the question. But so then we have this here. And do I think it's just because of the country's enemies or those that would like to do harm in the country? No, I don't think it's that at all. I think the natural events are just as dangerous. And I think with our earthquakes and our volcanoes being more associated with a stronger pole movement, which would mean more magnetic changes, it would be safe to say that not all volcanic eruptions or even earthquakes are all the same. Some probably have more or less magnetic energy or output than others. You know, this opens the door up to think that not every earthquake and volcano are exactly the same. I mean, they could be different in all kinds of ways. And I think we do find that out, that some earthquakes aren't just magma chambers, some aren't just movements of the shelves. I was going to go over ionic, chronotropic, dromotropic actions of the heart, but I think you get the picture so far. So go ahead and enjoy that last snippet, and I encourage you to check on some of these links and even the video to completely understand what really these things are. These are some very interesting stuff, and it's stuff that we might even have to face in our lifetimes. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up.
When an atomic bomb goes off, and it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be big. It gives off gamma rays. It gives off the gamma rays, which hits the protons, which give off an electron. But it also has another place for myths. Most TV producers and all, when it hits, everything dies. That's not true. There's a lot of myths there. And according to the U.S. government's EMP report that was put out, it talks about how 90% of the cars, or 95% of the cars, will be fine because they're already shielded. Your cell phone is a very shielded device, so are notebook computers. They're designed that way. EMP hits, yes, it will turn them off, but you can turn them back on. The biggest thing is the chargers that go to it, that hooks into the wall to be able to charge it, getting hit with that spike if it isn't shunted. Same thing with cars. They're very
California is going down.
God, you sound like a crazy person. The governor just said we're fine now.
The guy's an actor. He's reading a script. When they tell you not to panic, that's when you run.
Hey, could you call me back when you calm down?
Live in this beautiful state of ours.
Mommy, why is Daddy so crazy?
After taking the most severe hit in Los Angeles,
Finish your pancakes.
it seems to me that the worst is over.